These two prisoners were being taken to the execution grounds in a truck. At that moment, one of the prisoners touched a protruding part of the truck and a flicker of freedom flashed in his mind. He pulled a coin from his pocket and slowly began to turn a screw. Meanwhile, his companion Tom kept an eye on the guard sitting in the driver's seat. As soon as the guard glanced back, both immediately lay down and pretended to sleep. Once the danger passed, Jack got back to work instantly. With perfect coordination, the first screw came out. He then passed the coin to Tom, and Tom began opening the next screw. Together, they applied force, and finally, the back panel of the truck opened without the guard noticing. Now, there was only one final step: detaching from the truck. Jack and Tom lunged toward the driver's side, and the loosened back section of the truck began to slide. As soon as Tom saw the road below, his breath hitched, but there was no turning back now. Jack gave a final jolt, and the back part of the truck fell onto the road. Both of them slid away, and the guard didn't have the slightest clue. But this first step toward freedom wasn't enough. Their hands were still bound by handcuffs. They wanted to run away as fast as possible because if the guard got even a hint, death was certain. After thinking a lot, they came up with an idea. They lifted the heavy body of the truck and, using it as cover, slowly began to cross the desert. However, the weight of the truck was slowly draining their strength. The desert sun and thirst left them in a miserable state. Suddenly, both began rolling down from a height. As they fell, the speed increased so much that the truck body flipped a full 360 degrees in the air. Luckily, there was sand everywhere. Moving a bit further, they saw an old broken World War II plane half buried in the sand with some old tools lying nearby. An idea immediately struck Jack's mind. Using the remaining parts and the strong desert winds, he transformed that plane into a sand cruiser. Now, they just had to head in the right direction, and freedom was only a few kilometers away. But then, luck took another turn. The news of their escape had reached the guard. Now, a dangerous helicopter was heading toward them. They had only one choice: to jump into a nearby pit. As soon as they got inside, Jack's eyes widened in shock. It wasn't an ordinary pit. It was a secret weapon warehouse from the World War era. There were old but lethal weapons everywhere. Now, Jack and Tom had everything they needed to take down a helicopter in an instant. Without wasting a single moment, they dragged out a heavy cannon. As the helicopter approached, Jack pulled the rope and fired without a second thought. Subscribe for part 2.